Welcome everybody. Welcome to this presentation around engineering in the built environment. My name is Alison Lewis and I'm the Dean of the faculty. I hope that you're in the right presentation. This is our virtual open day and this is all about EBE, the faculty. So as a faculty, before COVID, we recognized that we needed to plan for a very different future. And I can give you lots of examples of what that looked like, but we thought as EBE professionals, and that's engineering in the built environment professionals, it's precisely what we train for, finding innovative solutions to new challenges. And we set up think tanks and working groups to really plan for what our future should look like. And of course, COVID fast-tracked that, but we were already on that track. So to introduce you to the faculty and the different departments, these are the programs that we offer in the Engineering and Built Environment faculty. Starting at the top left, the BSc in Geomatics, and below that, the Bachelor of Architectural Studies. Then the Mechanical Engineering department offers two programs. That is the Classical Mechanical Engineering program, as well as the Mechanical and Mechatronic program. Chemical Engineering offers Chemical Engineering. Electrical offers three programs. That's Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Mechatronics. Civil Engineering offers the Civil program. And then the two on the far right-hand side, the BSc Construction Studies and the BSc Property Studies, are offered by the Department of Construction, Economics and Management. And just to preempt a question that we often get in these presentations, what is the difference between mechatronics, that's on the bottom left, offered by the Electrical Engineering department, and mechanical and mechatronic engineering, offered by the Mechanical Engineering department? So the example given here is a self-driving car, and you'll see on the bottom left-hand side what the mechatronics engineers will be contributing to the car. So the blue part of the pie graph is by far the majority, and that's the software engineering. The purple, also a major component, is the electronics, and the mechanical in the green is a small contribution. Compare that to the bottom right-hand side, where you'll see the mechanical engineering component is the largest part. That's offered by the mechatronics engineers who train in the Mechanical Engineering department. And the software and electronics are a smaller component. So I hope that to some extent answers that question. Another question that's often come up, and I get lots of emails about, is what does teaching and learning look like in 2022? And what is it going to look like in the future? At the moment, we have mostly vaccinated students and staff, but not quite back to normal. We're running what we call a hybrid model, which is online content supported by contact activities in homerooms and laboratories. We've got dedicated venues in the faculty that we use full time. We offer time management for students. We have support from the Centre for Higher Education and Development. We have a whole slew of new people called super tutors who help us with this hybrid and blended model. And the way we run it is we ask for some compulsory attendance, as well as various incentives to ensure campus presence. And the reason for that is that we found that even though we made many offerings on campus, at some point in the whole COVID process, students seem to prefer staying at home. And so now we really encourage students to come onto campus and to engage with the face-to-face activities. We've got about 4,500 students in the faculty, of which by far the majority are undergraduate, that's 72%, about 23% postgrad students and 5% PhD. And we've also made a number on the slide, which is the international students. And I think that's one of the significant factors at UCT, is that we have up to 20% international undergraduate students. And to me, that means enormous amount of learning and diversity and contact and experience of working in teams with people that you might well in your future be working in teams with in all your international placings. Our first years, we have about 792 first years, and you'll see they're distributed across the departments as in the graph. By far the biggest grouping is the electrical engineers, who are 207, and that's spread across those 3 electrical engineering programs that I mentioned. Next biggest is mechanical engineering, followed by chemical civil. Architecture has got 89 students, and they run a studio-based program. And then the smaller classes are geomatics, construction, and property. So mostly the point of showing this slide is to illustrate the fact that the size of the first year classes is probably much, much bigger than the sizes of classes that students are used to at school level. The application process, their applications are already open. They opened on the 1st of April. They close on the 31st of July. It's important to note that we are not requiring NBTs for admission in 2023, but if you are going to apply for another program in another faculty, you might have to do NBT, so it's worth having a look at what their requirements are. We make conditional offers on the basis of grade 11 results, and then after that, June and September results from grade 12. And the final offers are made after the school leaving results are released in January 23. And we do offer entrance scholarships to our top applicants. If you go to the website, ebe.uct.ac.za, you can go to the frequently asked questions section where there are many more FAQs. And in fact, our website has got all the information that you might want to know about applying and about the faculty itself. We're very proud of the student support that we offer in the faculty. I've got 6 examples here, but there are many more. We have first year advisors, so every single first year student is allocated an academic who would be their advisor on academic issues. We have an aspect program, which is a structured 5-year program that students can enter and then spread out the 4-year programs over 5 years in a planned and structured way. We have boot camps. So these are officially called tutored reassessment programs, but that name did not stick, so now they're called boot camps. And these are, if a student fails a course that might stop them progressing to the next year, then in the holiday we offer intensive tutoring followed by rewriting of the exam, so a student can clear that out of their curriculum and move on to the next year. We have a very extensive tutor system in the faculty, and that's run by postgrad students. So the plus of that is that postgrad students get a chance to experience some teaching, but the undergrad students also get a chance to interact with postgrad students, and often they end up being informal mentors. We have in every single department at least one academic development lecturer, and their main focus of their research and what they do at UCT is to focus on engineering education research and student support. So they are really focused on the whole issue of how to be most effective as a lecturer and as a student. And then we have a mentor system where our senior students volunteer to mentor junior students. And it's usually 2 students to 1 mentor, sometimes 3 to 1. But these are students who just ahead of the first years in the system, so they have a chance to really share about what it's like to be a student and to have somebody to talk to when they need to. We're also very focused on what the future looks like, and I would say that doing an EBE degree is probably one of the best preparations you have for the future. We focus on a range of different future technologies, including renewable energy, modern medical tech, robotics, nanotech, autonomous vehicles, smart tracking tools and systems, tools for space, sustainable power and drone technology, and many, many more examples. You'll find those on our website, and we can talk more about those if you're interested. We're also very proud of the fact that we have what we call research-led teaching. So it's not just the same lecturer, the same textbook, teaching the same content year after year. It's around injecting what's happening in the research field into undergrad programs. So that's got many pluses. It inspires students about developing new knowledge. It shows students the impact of new knowledge. It also encourages students to see themselves as research collaborators as they participate in research projects in the more senior years. And participating in research-led teaching can be a really transformative experience for students as they start to see how what they're learning really impacts the world and can make a big difference. And I'm going to have a few slides here around the 5 reasons that I would say you should choose EBE. First of all, you get taught how to think. You learn logical thinking, critical analysis, and decision-making skills. And these are in huge demand, not just in the engineering field. It's very versatile. Our faculty covers everything from rockets to mobile phones and hip replacements. And it's not just about fixing things and about tech. It's really about understanding how and why things work. Number 3, you'll be ready for any problem, no matter how big. Even the really insurmountable ones like climate change, water security, renewable energy, even COVID, engineers have played a huge role in tackling these very, very big complex problems. Number 4, you'll be globally marketable and financially secure. So our degrees are internationally recognized, which means that the students can work, or our graduates can work just about anywhere in the world, and probably also be well paid. And number 5, you get a chance to improve the world. And more nowadays, I'm seeing that students who enter EBE really want to make a difference in the world. And EBE professionals contribute to society through nanobots, medical devices, HIV medication, water treatment, safer transport, renewable energy, green buildings, city renewal, landslide monitoring, affordable housing, and I really could go on with that list, but there are many, many ways in which EBE professionals make significant contributions. We have a very active social media activity, so you can email us at EBE Cares. You can look at our website, which is constantly updated. We have an Instagram account, a Twitter, we've got Facebook, and we're on LinkedIn. So you can follow us there or get in touch through our email address and our website. And I'm happy to take questions if there are. Thanks very much.
Alison, at the moment, there's one on architecture. It says the architecture degree sounds very art orientated. Does it involve maths or physics at all?
Yeah, thanks for that, Mary. And before I start answering the questions, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Mary Hilton, who's the Communications and Marketing Manager in the faculty. And she's been absolutely instrumental in organizing this and is often the main point of contact with students coming to the faculty. So in answer to the architecture faculty, a lot of the architecture applicants are quite arty, but you do need to have maths. So I think there's a balance there between the arty side and the hard sciences side. Yeah, if there are more questions on architecture, I'm happy to answer those. I see there's a question on if UCT is going to have a campus open day as well. Maybe Mary can answer that because I think she's closer to what's happening around that.
Well, we haven't been informed, but apparently the VC in her talk said that we are hoping to have one in September. So we will let people know if that's going to happen. But if people want to visit the Faculty of Engineering in the Built Environment, they are very welcome to email me. I'll put my email in the Q&A and I will arrange a tour of the facilities and the different areas that you want to see in our faculty.
That's great. Thanks, Mary. And yes, I've also heard that UCT is planning a face-to-face open day and ability to visit campus in September. And if you do have the ability to come and visit, I would strongly recommend it. The vibe on campus is really great. It's full. There are students everywhere. It's really, there lots happening.
Another question is around robotics. What degree has robotics, or can I study robotics?
The closest to robotics is what we call mechatronics. And in fact, I would say that degree probably should be called robotics. So that's the one that's offered in electrical engineering. And I would apply for that. But have a look on the website. You can, if you have a look at the handbook, which is online, you can exactly see what every single course is and what every single component of each of the degrees is. But the short answer to your question is yes, it's mechatronics.
And will I get an option to provide my grade 12 June interim results? So can I answer that?
Yes, please do.
Yes, so when you make your application, you apply with your grade 11 results. If those results are good, meet the requirements, you can get a conditional offer. If you don't get the conditional offer on your grade 11, we will look at your grade 12. Your June in your grade 12, your September in your grade 12. And if you still don't meet the requirements, we will wait for your final results. So the more of your results you post, the better we can judge and make the offers. So yes, you will, as soon as you get them, you will be able to upload them on the PeopleSoft.
I see there's another question around, does an undergraduate degree in chemical engineering qualify you to do a postgrad degree in biomedical engineering? Yes, it does. I think we should offer biomedical engineering in the faculty, but at the moment it's offered in health sciences, and some of the best biomedical engineers are chemical engineers in their undergrad degree. So that's a definite yes. And do you need to study BAS first if you want to study urban planning? Yes, you can. It's not a requirement. Urban planning does take students from other undergraduate degrees, but it is a postgrad qualification. So you need an undergrad qualification before you can do urban planning.
And does UCT offer AI courses?
I would say that probably the mechatronics degree offers you the fundamental tools in order to be able to develop AI systems, and I suppose that's probably your question. The other angle there would be in computer science, where I think they might offer AI, but it depends what you want to do. If you're wanting to be doing the software and the programming, we have electrical and computer engineering. And if you're wanting to, as I said, develop AI systems themselves, then mechatronics is probably your route.
And if I can, I did my HIGSE last year and I'm currently doing my A-levels. Will I be considered for a place next year? So it depends when your A-level results are going to come out. So if you get your A-level results, they'll be out early next year, then yes. But if they're out later in the year, so April, May, and I can't remember, I think it's February they come out, then you would have to apply for the following year. So the applications close at the end of July this year. The final offers are made in January 2023, and the term will start in February. So if your results are out, we can make the offer before then, you can be considered for 2023. And will the NBT marks be required for applications, Alison?
So the answer to that is no, not for this faculty, engineering in the built environment. But just be aware that if this is your first choice and your second choice is in another faculty, then you might well need to do NBTs.
For grade 11 results, you submit, is it your results for the entire year, grade 11, or your June and September examination results? So for grade 11, we just look at the end of year. We don't look at the June and September. We only look at your matric June and September. Does UCT offer industrial engineering courses?
No, that's not one of our offerings at the moment. To get a good idea of what each of the degrees is about, and to go more deeply than what I've explained in this talk, I really encourage you to go on our website, and there every single department and every program has a summary of what they offer. I see there's another question around a major and a minor. If you want to major in mechanical engineering and minor in architecture, sure, that is going to be a mission. we don't offer that. If you do a major in mechanical engineering, then that is going to be your full-time activity for the 4 years of your degree. And if you do a major in architecture, it also will be your full-time activity for the duration of the degree. So there's not really space to do the major and the minor. At the early stages, unfortunately, you have to choose which route you want to go. If you want to then, for example, add to your degree, you could always look at doing a postgraduate qualification.
There's a lot of
question around a TVET college. Can you answer that?
Yes. So it will with the TVET, it depends on what level that you've got. So you would need to apply and submit your results and what you've done, and then we'd be able to judge and advise. So there's a certain level that you have to that we can look at. There's a lot of questions around aeronautical, Alison. So people asking, how do you get an aeronautical degree qualification at UCT?
So and we don't offer, yeah, sorry?
The other one was, can you do an undergraduate degree in chemical in order to study aerospace but postgrad?
It depends precisely what you want to do. So we don't offer an undergraduate aeronautical degree. If you're interested in the mechanical part of things, you would probably go via a mechanical engineering undergraduate degree. We do, for example, have research which is very focused on computational fluid dynamics, which is one of the main elements of aeronautical engineering. And computational fluid dynamics, you can go into that postgrad area via mechanical engineering or via chemical engineering, and probably via other engineerings as well. The requirement there, the computational fluid dynamics would be, you know, fluid flow and applied mathematics strengths. So I would have a look at exactly which kind of aeronautical or aerospace you want to follow, and on the basis of that, you could choose the route that you get there.
They ask how, and I need to find this out. After applying, how long does it take to get the email that states you should pay the application fee? You don't get an email. You go on, I think in the letter that they will send to you, they will advise where you can pay the application fee, or where you go to the website on how to pay the application fee. But there isn't a timeline when you need to pay it by. There's a question about having studied at UWC first and not completed the degree. Even though you haven't completed the degree, you still need to say that you've studied at another university, particularly if you're applying for funding. You have to say that you've studied at another university, so you need to complete that on the application.
And then there's a question around what undergraduate degrees can you study if you want to do urban planning. Yes, urban planning is a postgraduate degree. And as I said, one of the avenues you can get there is through architecture, but I know that urban planners have quite a few other undergraduate degrees, and I advise you to look on the website there, and there it will specify which requirements you need to get into that postgrad program. Then a question around, does UCT offer property investment courses? So I would say our property studies course is the closest to that, and the property studies would then permit you to go into property development, facilities management, any of those kind of areas. It's quite finance heavy. Quite a lot of the courses are in commerce faculty, so there's a strong financial component. If you felt that wasn't enough, then there's always a postgrad option in financial mathematics or something else, which is offered through commerce. But I would say the property studies degree is pretty strong on the finance side. And then, does electrical and computer engineering branch a graduate out into software engineering or give them the option to? I would say yes. I mean, I am biased, I have to say. I'm the dean of the engineering faculty, and so I think an engineering degree is the best undergraduate degree to start off with. There is also computer science, which is another angle. Computer science doesn't have the engineering focus that we have, of course. It's very software orientated. So we offer, it's, you know, electrical and computer engineering. So it'll be the combination, but in that degree, there's very, very strong focus on computer science. In fact, our students do computer science courses.
Is it easy to change the courses? Like, for instance, if you study civil engineering and you want to change to chemical, or will it be a mission?
Yeah, so the first answer to that is that if you get into civil engineering and you want to change to chemical, there are two things. The first thing is you need to fulfill the requirements for chemical, which are higher than those for civil. So you would need to fulfill their entrance requirements. And secondly, if chemical was full, then you wouldn't be able to change. So the advice I would give is you need to try and choose your preferred course off the bat. If you do want to change and you do meet the requirements and the degree you want to go into is not full, then you can do that within the first couple of weeks of the semester.
So for biomedical,
and biomedical after mechanical, yes, you can. At the moment, the biomedical degree is quite mechanical focused. They do a lot around gate and around sort of mechanical type of focus areas. But as Mary says, they accept any of the engineering degrees.
And what funding opportunities are available? There is a page on our website called Funding Opportunities, and we post bursaries there, and it's got links to our financial aid office and anything else there. So architecture, did you say grade 11 final exam results are used for application or full year results? So if we're looking at grade 11, we just look at the final year grade 11, then you can submit your matric June or your matric September. The portfolio needs to be submitted by the end of September. And once they have that, they will then have a look at all the applications. But we don't need the full year of grade 11 results. And I think, Alison, we have 2 minutes to go.
Okay, so thank you very, very much, everybody. Mary's given her address in the chat. And we also, on the landing page of our EBE website, there's an EBE Cares email, which you can mail if you have no idea where to email, and we'll redirect you. So I hope that you will come and visit our website. We're pretty good at getting back to people, and Mary is fantastic at answering questions and being responsive. And as she said, if you want to come and visit, we'd be happy to arrange a tour of the facilities, and keep an eye open for September, when hopefully the campus will be open and there'll be some structured activities and you can come and visit and see what we're doing. So thanks very much to all the people who've attended, and I hope this session was useful. And thanks, Mary, and thanks, Garth, for the technical support.
If I can just say, there's a questions about mechanical and mechatronic engineering. There is a talk happening now, so I would go and listen to that talk, and they'll be able to tell you what careers you're being prepared for.
Great. Thanks so much, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Alison.